spoke with the referee at half-time, very civilly and in the right manner, and I suggested that, in my opinion, there was no way possible that Jay had tried to ease the ball back to Diego in a passing motion so he could control it to then kick it. It was obvious that Jay swiped at the ball with his left foot and it spun off the outside of his left boot towards the goal. And just so happened Diego was then used his hand and then cleared it. The referee thought he was going to use his chest, but I said, irrespective of that, it wasn't an intentional back pass, it was a missed kick. I think Jay Nina was trying to kick it the opposite way, out towards the touchline or the goal line, right. And it spun off his foot and went towards Diego. He was as surprised, I guess, as anyone, because the spin of the ball took it that way. He sliced it, miskicked it, which happens in games, but in that moment, I think the referee and the officials should use a little bit of common sense and recognise that that wasn't in any way a back pass. And you flip the coin back to the second half, and the San Antonio player seemed to open his foot out and make a motion towards the goal to pass the ball that direction, whether it was off for a goal kick or a corner, but it ended up in the goalkeeper's foot right on the line, which then he handled first and then he kicked it. So it's one of those things where we're disappointed that they managed to score from it, but again, this is sod's law. They strike it, it deflects off our players, and then it goes. Totally against the run of play again, totally not looking like we're in any trouble whatsoever, and we find ourselves 1-0 down, pushing against the uphill against the wind. What we have to learn from our perspective, I think, is if the goalkeeper's charging, then we should just stay and not move, because what happened is I think we charged and that created a little gap between individuals and it ricocheted between and it went into the net. Again, I feel for the players in that respect because it's a very harsh goal given against us. After that, yes, delighted with the response, the effort, the kind of commitment that the players put in the game throughout the game, until we scored. And the worst thing that happened to us, as in last week's game in Carolina, was we scored. And for whatever reason, subconsciously, when we score, we suddenly take a deep breath, stop doing what we were doing before, stop being organised at the back, stop being able to nullify their attacks quite comfortably around the halfway area. And for me, that is poor play by the defensive players, because basically all the problems stem between our two centre-halves. Trying to play offsides when we don't play offsides at this club. They should track runners or drop out if people have free ball in front of them. They drop out until they make a decision. But no, we want to come up and try to condense the space. And we had a warning previously where Frankie done a fantastic block where they had a 3v2 and they hit him in his stomach and we got away with that. And then lo and behold, 3 minutes later, they go and do the same thing more than twice. So for me, that's unacceptable. A defender who understands the game, who should know to play at this level, should know how to organise a defence after we've just worked so hard to get back in the game. It was a spur, it upped the tempo. I think people found another little bit of adrenaline, and he inspires those around him, because generally when the ball goes in his area, he'll either win it and knock it down to someone with quality, or he'll either retain it and bring someone else in the game with quality. So that's something that is irreplaceable. And as you saw with the goal, it was a great cross-in by Dev, but Carl's attacking it, and the finish was clinical.
I mean, obviously, I'm a tall guy, and I've got to use that to my advantage. But there's a lot more to it than that. That I can add to the team. I mean, it's really important as well that the guys do see me as a target man as well. Especially like today's game, where we're chasing the game. So they got that outlet, for me to for them to pass the ball to me up front and be a little bit more direct. But coming back, obviously my strength is having the ball down on the ground, and obviously being injured and just coming back. It's going to take time for me to get back into it, but obviously the sooner the better. And it was a good 30 minutes for me today to get out there and get my fitness back up. Obviously, it's an extra bonus as well, and a confidence booster for me to get on the score sheet. Unfortunately, the result didn't go away.